Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another webinar session of Genesis One. Today's session of webinar, we discuss about e-commerce marketplace strategies for sustainable success. To discuss with this particular topic, we have with our panelists today, Mr. Navid Khan, Sales Lead, Browntape Operation, Ms. Chelsea, Inside Sales Executive, and Mr. Saish, Account Manager for Managed Services, Browntape Ginesys One. So I ask all the panelists to join to discuss about today's webinar session. Guys, please continue with today's session. Thank you all of you for your presence. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Vikram. Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's not a typical Monday to start the work with. Unfortunately, our team has lost the World Cup yesterday, but it's just a game. I'm sure more happiness waiting for us as an Indian cricket team fan. But yes, we all are back into business with full throttle, and I once again welcome everyone with a warm welcome to all the members joining us for today's session. Uh, before we proceed with today's topics on the agenda of what we are going to talk about, let me just give you a quick overview of the services that as a Browntape, which is a Genesis One product, what all we offer under the Browntape services. So this the first service is for sellers who are existing and selling online on marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, and they do have their own website as well. So and we give a single screen dashboard. It's a SaaS-based software, cloud-based software that can help you manage your inventory automatically through one single screen, that is the Browntape. And then you can process the orders, get the remittance, consolidated reports, dashboard view of your performances, everything on one common platform. Talking about the second services, which is e-commerce account management service, here we basically become an outsourcing company for the sellers who are actually present and want to don't want to set up a team but wants to outsource it, or a new seller who has been good into retail or in the offline market but wants to have their presence in the online space as well. So we eventually from onboarding to cataloging or we specialize in listing optimization, reputation management, how to control the pricing, how to increase the visibility, how to do the promotions, analytics, conversions, and other related support. So these are the services that we cover in the account management services. Now let's say there are sellers who are selling good offline, but they don't want to go on marketplaces, but they would like to have their own brand presence. For those sellers, we have a team of expertise with us who can develop a website and an application for them. I mean, if they want to develop their own website for their own for the brand, they can develop a website and application for them as well. That can be done as well. Talking about the food services, if Genesis being our parent company, we have a deep integration with Browntape, Genesis deep integration. Now, this ready integration between Genesis ERP and Browntape OMS ensure that there is a seamless data flow and a real-time data flow between your offline and online businesses, right? Also, inventory is managed real time, and when it comes to order processing, these orders can be posted to multiple warehouses. At the same time, your stores can be linked to this. We have a complete and full-fledged omni fulfillment model for your website purpose as well. So this is what we offer under Genesis Roundtable integration. And the fifth is enterprise services, wherein apart from Genesis being our parent company and the home ERP that we have multiple other ERPs in the market which can be integrated with Roundtable. Just to name few, there is SAP, Microsoft Navision, Business Central, PHP based, custom based. So Roundtable will work as a middleware to ensure that the inventory is pulled from the ERP and pushed to relevant marketplaces. And simultaneously, when you get orders, these orders are posted back to your ERP. So these are the services that Browntape provides. Moving on to the next slide, coming back to the agenda of what we will talk about. So there are 6 important points that we have chosen from the from the online space that we should be talking about and giving our insights, that what has been our view, or what has been our experience on it. So the points that we are going to cover is, the first point that we are going to cover in this particular is understanding marketplace dynamics and choosing the right marketplace. So why the effectiveness of having the right marketplace. Then second would be effective product listing and optimization of search. Third is pricing strategies. Fourth would be adaptation, innovation, and market trends. What has been our experience and insight on this particular topic. Fifth would be data analytics and metrics, why these are important. And as a seller, brand building and reputation, what were the metrics you should follow to have this brand building and reputation thing in your business. Okay. So to move on with, I would request Chelsea to proceed further with the slides and start presenting on the first few slides. Just give your insights on the pointers. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Navid. So, getting right into the topics at hand. So, the first topic that we'll be taking you all through is understanding the marketplace dynamics and choosing the right marketplace. Now, the first thing is understanding why marketplace dynamics is crucial. Now, as a seller, there are a lot of different marketplaces available to you, right? There's your Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. Now, they're all very different, but they're all also very similar in many ways. Now, understanding the different models of these marketplaces is very important before starting as a seller, right? Understanding the commercial structures, the operational structures of these marketplaces, and how these can affect your business. Let's say you take, for example, Amazon. Now, Amazon as a marketplace has a number of different models. You have your FBA, Seller Flex, Easy Ship, Self Ship, right? There are all these different models. So, how do you as a seller choose which one is the best fit for you? If you take, let's say, FBA, for example. Now, if you're selling on FBA, there is, of course, warehousing charges, there's logistics charges, and a host of other fees which will be levied by the marketplaces, which, of course, in the end can also affect your profits. Let's say you take the Easy Ship model of Amazon, right? If you take the Easy Ship model, you'll have to have your own warehouse. And for that, you'll also have to hire employees who will be taking care of your pick and pack and your daily operations. So basically, figuring out all these costs of each of these models of the marketplaces is very crucial before you get started online. Right? The next thing is choosing the right marketplaces. Now, as I mentioned, there are, of course, a lot of marketplaces for you to choose from. And as a seller, you'd be, tempted to put your products up everywhere, because this, it could basically help you maximize your sales or get you more visibility. Because, of course, there's a logic that says there's no harm in being present on all the available marketplaces. But also being live on all these marketplaces, you have to make sure that you're managing all of them, which of course in the end involves you putting in more effort and more manpower. So instead of basically diluting your efforts, on all these available marketplaces, it's ideal that you focus on the ones where your product fits, where you're getting most of your sales, right? And where you're finding the right audience for your products. Because concentrating your efforts on these marketplaces will of course get you the best results in the end. Let's say, for example, you're a seller of premium bags, right? Your bags are ranging around, let's say, 9 to 10,000 each, and you're selling on, let's say, 10 different marketplaces, right? But you're getting most of your sales, let's say 90% of your sales are coming from, say, Myntra or Ajio Lux, Tata Click Lux. As a business owner, though, you will have to be, putting in all your efforts on all the 10 marketplaces. They will all require your attention. So, is it wise to be putting in, all that additional effort on all the marketplaces? Or is it better on focusing on the ones that are getting you the most amount of sales? Right? So, from our experience, at least, 9 to 10 years of being in this industry, we see that, focusing on the ones which are getting you the most results, getting you the most profits, that, of course, is the wisest choice that you should go ahead with. The next thing is identifying your target audience. Now, identifying your target audience and choosing the right marketplaces, both these points are very interlinked with each other, right? You first have to figure out what are the available marketplaces. You figure out what category your product falls in, and in turn, you figure out who your audience is for your product, right? Once you figure out who your target audience is, who your target customers are, right, you can identify where they're most likely to buy from, right? Let's say, for example, like I said, you're a seller of premium bags, right? If your audience is on Tata Click, if it's on Ajio Luxury, if it's on Myntra, why should you list your products on Meesho or Shopclues, where your product obviously will not get the right results, but it won't get the right sales? So why put in your efforts there when your target audience is available on these other marketplaces? Right? It's just a waste of bandwidth, and it's a waste of your efforts also. Time that could be spent putting in efforts on the marketplaces where you're actually going in profit. Right? So the next point is, sorry, just a second, is adaptability and flexibility. Now, what we have learned in our many years of experience in this industry is that e-commerce in India, it's still evolving. It's still at its infancy stage in India. It's continuously evolving every day, and it's evolving at a very fast pace. So the marketplaces that we have now, marketplaces like Amazon or Flipkart, Myntra, they've all changed their structures throughout the ages. They are not the same as when they started, right? So it's important for us as sellers to be up to date with all these changes of structure and also adapt to these ever-changing marketplaces, right? Let's take, for example, Myntra. Now, Myntra as a marketplace, when it started out, it wasn't a pure play marketplace. They worked on a PO model, wherein they would purchase products from a seller, they would take them to their warehouse, and they in turn would dispatch it to the customers. The sellers, they wouldn't know who the customers are, and the customers in turn wouldn't know who they're buying from. It would just be a Myntra product. But now Myntra has changed as a marketplace, right? Because if I'm a buyer on Myntra, I know who I'm purchasing from. I know where my products are coming from. I know who the sellers are. So you can see that marketplaces are constantly changing, and as sellers, very important to stay to evolve with them so that we can grow as well. Right. So the next thing that I'll be taking you through is effective product listings and optimizing for search. Now, the first point is why effective product listings matter. Now, effective product listings matter because they provide clear information and they help you build a professional brand, right? They help you boost your conversion rates and they make sure that your products stand out in terms of the already existing competition. It will help you attract potential buyers. So you have to make sure that your product listing, it has all the required information. Because if it has all the required information, it can go a long way in getting you that visibility, in getting you that click on your product listing, make sure that people open your product to know more. So you make sure that all your information is there on your listing. Because people want to know everything about a product before they purchase it, right? If suppose say a seller wants to buy a t-shirt, there are, let's say 100 different sellers selling t-shirt. So why should he buy your t-shirt over the other present sellers? So you make sure that all your information is on your listing so people will click on it and purchase it. The next thing is visual appeal in product listings. First impressions are everything, as you know. If you see something you like, you'll immediately click on it, right? Because you want to know more about it. You're automatically attracted to the picture. Let's say you're a seller of phone covers, right? There are so many different sellers of phone covers in the market. Why would I, as a customer, want to buy your particular phone cover? Right? So you have to make sure that the picture that you put up, it's a high quality picture. It has popping colors that will attract the customer so that they open your product. So you have to make sure it has the visual appeal so that a customer is more likely to click on your product and purchase it. The next thing is the importance of search optimization. Now, search optimization on marketplaces basically refers to the process of strategically enhancing the visibility and discoverability of your product listings within the search function of marketplaces. So this basically means that when someone is searching for a marketplace, searching for a product on the marketplace, right, it basically means that your product should appear higher than the others. So when someone, let's say, searches on Amazon for like a red round neck t-shirt, let's say, so you have to figure out how to make your red round neck t-shirt appear over the others in the market. So this can be done by basically identifying the relevant keywords in product titles, the descriptions and the tags. You have to understand, what are the specific terms that your potential customers are looking for? What are they searching for? And make sure you incorporate that in your listings. right? So this can help you increase your visibility and also then in turn help you drive your sales. The next thing is keeping your product listings up to date with any changes. So you have to make sure as a seller that you're regularly updating your product listings, because this is important to stay current and competitive, because this in turn will ensure that your customers are receiving accurate and relevant information. And also this is of course going to contribute to a positive customer experience. If they know that you as a seller are constantly evolving, you're taking the time to keep everything up to date, you're keeping up with the trends, this in turn will give them a positive experience and gain you their trust also, right? So make sure that you're constantly updating your inventory. If your product is out of stock, make sure you're updating that on the marketplace so that the customers know. So that in turn, let's say if a seller, if a buyer on your product, they purchase the product and it was out of stock, but you forgot to update that, right? Then in turn you'll have to basically cancel the order. Automatically the customer will know that, okay, this seller has canceled my order after I bought it. It will automatically create a negative experience for them, right? So you have to make sure you're keeping everything up to date. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, pricing strategies. So the first point that I'll take you to is pricing of similar products. So you as a seller have to research and understand the pricing of similar products on the marketplaces, right? Let's say, for example, you are a seller of Bluetooth earphones, right? The market is already saturated with sellers of Bluetooth earphones. You have your Boat, Sony, Bose, there's Apple, right? So you have to first understand what is your product. You have to understand what is the price of your product, right? If it's a low cost product, if you're catering to like the higher end premium category, right? If your product is like a premium category product, if it's a higher price point product, you have to make sure you list why your product is worth that amount, right? You have to put in what are the properties that make it worth that price. If it's like noise cancelling earphones, longer battery life, if it's water resistant. So make sure you understand what is the price range of your products and make sure you list out why your products are priced at that range. Next is identifying the sweet spot. This is to make sure you have a recurring and repeat customers. So you have to identify that price range, the sweet spot, which will ensure that customers are repeatedly buying from you. Because let's say you're in the apparel category, right? And you're selling different kinds of clothing. Let's say you're selling t-shirts. You have to find that price range which make people want to buy your products regularly. Because let's say you're selling men's t-shirt. Men, maybe like boys will buy t-shirts once a month or maybe twice a month. So you have to make sure they're coming back for your brand, right? So identifying that sweet spot in your price range will go a long way in ensuring recurring customers. The next thing is creative offers. The next thing is remaining competitive. This is basically adjusting your prices while offering additional value, right? So you have to identify what is the pricing that your competitors are selling at, okay, and make sure you're adjusting your prices based on their price range, right? If you're selling your products at a higher range, you make sure you're offering additional value, that is, explain to them why your products are priced at that range, like I said earlier. So the next thing is creative offers. Create bundled offers to encourage customers to purchase more, right? So let's say, for example, like I said, you're a seller of earphones. You could combo it with like a protective case to put your earphones in, right? Because creating combo offers will automatically attract more consumers, right? People are always looking to buy more for a lesser price. So if you sell it together, you are ensuring that you're selling two products together, and your customer in turn is getting a discount on that product, because let's say you can give a 10% discount if they opt for your combo. Automatically, it will ensure you a sale, and you in turn will have sold two products, right? The next thing is use limited time offers. This is basically to create a sense of urgency and help you drive your sales. So this is basically putting any of your products, heavily discounted for a very short period of time. Let's say, like, for example, Black Friday sales or flash sales, where you give 50% off for the next 3 hours. So these kind of sales, basically what you have to do is advertise heavily for these, show people, advertise on social media, on Google, wherever, that you're giving a sale for a very short period of time, because this automatically consumers want to know, what is this product that's going on sale for such a short period of time. And they'll automatically want to buy it also, because you'll be discounting it very heavily for that short period of time. So you'll ensure, even if suppose say you're losing out a bit on your profits by giving it at such a high discount, you'll ensure automatic, more traffic on your products. More people will know about your brand, right? So the next thing that we're going to go through is incidental expenses. This is basically clearly communicating any addition that your consumers are going to, going to have. This is basically being transparent and honest to gain the trust of your consumer. So, identifying what are the additional charges, like shipping that your customer is going to have to bear, or the taxes that they're going to have to bear. Because being transparent and honest, once your customer has your trust, they're more likely to buy more from you. The last point that I'll take you through is seasonal strategic pricing. This is adjusting your pricing based on seasonal demand. Let's say, for example, you are a seller of black school shoes for kids. Right now, school shoes are worn by kids throughout the year, but there's a certain point in time where these sales will go very high. That is just before school starts, because kids are just coming off their summer break. Maybe their feet have grown, maybe their old shoes have worn out, right? So at that point, your sales are going to be very high for black school shoes. So you have to make sure you're strategically adjusting your pricing at that time to ensure you maximize on those sales. Okay, so going through the next topic. Adaptation, innovation, and market trends. So the first topic that I'm going to take you through is stay competitive. That is exploring automation, artificial intelligence, and other tools. Now it's very difficult to stay competitive with your pricing in this current market, because marketplaces, of course, they take a huge commission from sellers, right? Whether it's fixed fees, whether it's shipping charges, so all of these, bite away into your profits. And every other day, of course, there's a new product entering the market, so it increases your competition. Now, in order to stay ahead, it's very important to explore automation to bring down the cost of your operations, right? Let's say, for example, you're a seller who's processing maybe, say, 6,000, 7,000 orders a day, right? You'd have to employ a vast number of people to make sure that you're processing those orders every day, make sure your inventory is being adjusted, right? Now, as Naveed mentioned earlier, Browntape offers an OMS for this. That is an order management software. So the OMS basically helps you automate your order processing. You can do it in bulk. Your inventory is automatically adjusted. So one person can basically take care of the entire operation when it comes to your marketplaces. So in this way, you can bring down the cost of your operations. So this is a great way to stay competitive and to explore automation for your day-to-day activities. The second thing is using customer insights. This is to identify areas for improvement and innovation. So you as a seller should encourage reviews from customers after they place an order, because encouraging reviews automatically will basically, some people would be more likely to leave a positive review. And if someone does leave a review, right, now me as, let's say, for example, let's say me as a buyer, right, I want to buy, let's say, headphones on the marketplace. I would immediately open a product and go to the reviews, because I want to know what the other people's experiences are with those earphones, whether they liked it, whether the sound quality was good, right? I want to know what other people's experiences are, right? So you have to make sure you encourage customer reviews. And if, suppose, say, someone does leave a bad review, you use that constructively, right? You use that in a way to improve your product, right? Because not all reviews may be constructive and helpful, but the ones that aren't, you make sure that you use that to improve your product and grow from there. The next thing is catering to different customer segments. That is diversifying your product offerings. So you as a seller, you should make sure you're catering to all segments of society, right? Make sure you're catering to all different kinds of consumers. Let's say if you take Sony headphones, you'll see that there are Sony headphones selling for, let's say, 60,000 for the premium sellers, but there are also Sony headphones you can buy for maybe within 1,000, right? So they're catering to very different sections of society, ensuring that they're getting sales from all different kinds of people at the same time, right? Automatically, this will help you boost your sales. So making sure that you're catering to different kinds of segments. The next thing is competitor analysis. This is basically involves learning from your competitors' success and failures to refine your own strategies. So you have to make sure you as a seller are keeping an eye on your competing brands and the strategies they are using. You have to make sure you're learning from their experiences and their failures, because you can make sure that you don't make the same mistakes as well. You use their strategies, you use their mistakes, you use their failures, you use it to fine tune your own strategies and make sure you grow from that as well. The next thing is forming strategic partnerships. This can help you basically bring innovative ideas or complementary products. So how you do that is basically, let's say, for example, you are a seller of, let's say you're selling gym equipment, right? You can partner with someone who's selling, let's say, nutritional health supplements, like let's say whey protein, because in doing so, you are gaining a new audience, right? You get the followers of the whey protein seller, and in turn, the whey protein seller will get an audience from your followers. So this in turn can help you grow by forming strategic partnerships. But at the same time, you have to make sure you don't partner with someone who can, steal your following. Don't partner with another gym equipment seller. Make sure your partnerships are very strategic. The next point is embracing good business practices. Now, in this day and age, we have a very conscious consumer, right? So being sustainable and eco-friendly, this can go a long way in, creating a brand presence for yourself. This is one very important way to stand out amongst your competition. You make sure your products are eco-friendly, or you employ eco-friendly practices in your business. This could basically be something like zero waste or saying no to plastic, right? So employing these eco-friendly practices in your business can go a very long way in providing a very positive brand presence for yourself. The last point is focusing on marketing strategies. So this is basically making sure you monitor social trends and incorporate the relevant ones in your marketing strategy. So you have to make sure you're present on social media. You're following all the trending reels. You're following all the the trending audios. All of these things to make sure you are participating in it as well. There's a lot of events going on right now. We just had the World Cup that was going on. You make sure that your products are using these events in your marketing strategies. Like if you see, for example, I'm sure anyone watching the match would have seen Oreo's ad, right? Oreo had an ad with Dhoni, right? So they made a small ad incorporating the World Cup in it, right? So this automatically creates so much of a brand presence for themselves, because people automatically now associate the World Cup with Oreo, and now they have Oreo in their mind, right? So making sure you use events like this to advertise your products is very important in creating that presence for yourself. Right? That's it from me. We can go to the next topic.
Thank you very much, Chelsea. It was a wonderful insight given by you on the first four slides of the agenda. Moving on to the fifth slide, which says data analytics and metrics. If you see the first 2 points, it says why is it important? Why one should be, preparing metrics and have data analytics for them for businesses. So if you have these parameters and if you have proper data and proper metrics to follow the online businesses, there are certain aspects that you can work on is your business performance, definitely the first thing, and then you can work on identifying the areas of improvement. The every business will have a flaw, but you need to keep on working on it to ensure that you are improving, and that is resulting in a positive way for the sellers. Uh, Third thing is, if you have a lot of data, you can take certain decisions for the coming quarter, or for the coming financial year. It is also good for internally to optimize your operations as well and enhance overall performance on the marketplaces. So today, if you see, every marketplace has a different trend, a different traffic, and a different kind of liking of the products. Similarly, if you talk about Amazon and Flipkart, they have diversified themselves as a marketplace which covers every product. Moving on to Myntra, they have specifically into fashion and fashion accessories, right? So we need to collate data wherever relevant, and all kind of from all kind of marketplaces to ensure that your business is driven with what we have done in the past, what you have done in the past. So the value of this data will help you assess your performance on marketplaces. That is one of the important factors. Now, what are the few metrics that we have tried to cover? Few metrics that you should be monitoring regularly to ensure that that is being useful in your day-to-day business and your projections. So the first thing, if you see, is sales performance. Now, when it comes to sales performance, the first thing that comes to the mind is what's being your gross revenue. Like what is the total revenue generated for that month, for that quarter, or for that financial year. Out of which, the second thing that you should be figuring out as a seller is, after removing all the expenses, like whatever it can be, the taxes or the commissions or the packaging spend and everything, what's been the net revenue, and also reducing the cost of the product. Like what's been the net revenue for that particular month or quarter or financial year. Sales growth rate is something that you should also work on. Like what, month on month, whether the performance has improved, increased, or decreased. Now, if it has increased, that means the strategy that you have applied is working in the right way. But if it has decreased, then that's an area of concern, and you should do a brainstorming how to get how to get back to the normal business that you were doing. Right. Second is inventory management. Now, this is the most important aspect. I feel like inventory management, because today, if I am a seller and I'm selling something, and if I don't have an idea of as to what is my inventory, how much is my inventory, what I should be asking my jobbers to work on a priority basis, and what is kept in my warehouse, and how I should be ensuring to liquidate that. If I don't have a view or a control over it, my business could my business would never get into profit, right? So certain factors or parameters that I should be working on is, I should have a sell-through rate. A sell-through rate is nothing but ratio showing how much inventory is sold over a specific time, and when it was actually bought into the warehouses. But I mean, how much time does it take to it took for the inventory to go out of the warehouse and completely sold out? What was the time frame? Then inventory turnover. In a particular period, in a month or in a quarter, how many times have you reordered the same product? And what was the quantity? To identify the trend of the product, it is very important to understand this inventory turnover, right? And then the most, so for example, in online, it is saying that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your products. Now, then there are other 80%, 80% products lying in the warehouse. What needs to be done to them? How do you liquidate that? Is there a price point issue, or the product actual shown in the listing image differs from the actual product what's been delivered to the end consumer, or you're getting returns on these, or it's not getting sold at all? Is the price point high? You need to do understand. You need to do some research with your competitors who are selling similar products like you, to see if they are also selling the same product but with a lower price point. So you can do something or how to liquidate this, right? So the important thing is days of inventory outstanding. I mean, average number of days inventory is held in the warehouse and not being sold at all, right? So it is very important to understand what are those, how many products are there first, what are the quantities, and how to liquidate that. Third is marketing and advertising. This been the backbone for online marketplaces, because when we go online on any of these marketplaces, we are not the first one to sell that category. So there are 95% of, or 95% chances or a higher probability that people are already selling the same product on the same category, and also in the same price point that we are going to list the product. So marketing and advertising is something that that should be a part of initial projection. When it comes to marketing and advertising, sellers should regularly keep a track of few things that has got a lot of weightage when it comes to data analytics and metrics. One is conversion rate. What's been the return on investment? What's been the average order value? What's been the click through rate? Right. So by once you do this, once you analyze this data regularly, what you can do is seller can plan their next marketing campaign strategy as to where are we, what should we be doing, are we going in the right way, are we going in the wrong way, should we restructure our strategy for this financial year, for this quarter, or for the next month, right? Then is customer behavior. End user is going to be the customer. This all working is for the end user or the customer to buy the product. Thus, we need to identify first thing from the sales data, that which are the locations where we are getting maximum sales from. So if today I am a seller from Delhi, right? and I am getting maximum sales from NCR area like Faridabad, Haryana, Gurgaon, or I am getting maximum sales from Mumbai, then my product category is being liked by the trend right now going on this on that particular on that particular state or city, right? So understanding the likes of the customer and building our product category based on the likes is very important. Then the second is we should also at the same time identify where are the which are the states or cities where my product is not I'm not getting any response on, even if I'm putting efforts to try to sell it on a lower price, or I'm doing sort of promotions, but still I'm not getting response from some states and cities. Then we should identify, are we with the trend of that particular state or city? Not necessary that we should be you should be fulfilling 100% requirement of each and every consumer, but are we even aligned to it? We should do some brainstorming to understand the dislikes as well, because understanding that all kind of customers is very important, so that by this data you can also try to solve the problems where you're not getting sales, right? Then product performance. Now this is very important. Identifying your top performing product in terms of both volume and revenue. Like what's been the volume generated for your by your top selling products, and how much revenue are you getting out of it, right? Because you at the same time you will have certain products that has got zero volume and low revenue. So you should always identify what are your star performers, and then you should keep intact, and you should always align inventory. That should be your priority to ensure that the products are getting delivered at your warehouses in the right time and it never goes out of stock, right? Then product return rate. Now if I'm getting a conversion, if I'm getting a sale on marketplace, I'll have to ensure that I'm not getting return of the product. Now, if we are getting returns, then what are the reasons and reasons behind getting those returns? For example, percentage of sold products that are returned by customer. For example, today if I've got I have delivered 100 products, out of which 15 came as return. The percentage comes as 15. The return percentage is 15. Now, first thing I have to identify which are these products that have come as return. Now, there can be a possibility that there's a common product for which five customers return. Now, was again the listing was too optimized, but the product was not up to the mark. Competitors might be selling the product at a lower price, but I've kept the pricing at a very high point. We'll have to ensure that as we work for forward orders and ensure that we are getting conversions, we'll have to work for return orders as well, because getting more returns will eventually, the relationship between the marketplace and the seller also get disturbed, and the same time end user is not happy. We will have bad reviews. We'll have to avoid both of these things. So there has to be a make check on the product performance metrics every time to ensure that what has been and how has been the performance of forward orders and return orders both. Next is operational efficiency. We'll have to ensure once we figure out that, let's say, uh, once we get an order, what is the time taken from the time the order was placed until the order was delivered? Now, there are certain factors that is not in our hand. We'll have to dispatch the product, and the Amazon team or the Flipkart team or the Myntra team will have to deliver it. But what's been the time behind that? What has been the average time or days that the product is taking to reach the consumer? As I gave the example that I am a seller from New Delhi and I have a good presence, client presence in Mumbai. People are liking my product and they buying my product. What I should be doing is, next I should be targeting Amazon, Flipkart warehouses, and send those top quality products that are getting a lot of conversions to the warehouses of these Amazon and Flipkart. That should be my step two, so that the product is getting delivered faster once from the time the order was placed. Right, that also build a lot of positivity to the end consumer. Customer service response time is something that you should be, as a seller, you should be working on. Customer might place a lot of queries in the chatbot, or ask for certain clarification of the product, actual pick of the product, or they can ask for the quality. or a warranty guarantee. It can be anything, because we are talking about, we are not just talking about apparels or toys. We are talking about online as a whole of a different globe here, basically. So it will cover all the categories. So it is important that the time taken to respond to the customer queries or complaints, and what how quick are we in responding to them, because building the trust with the customers are also very important, right? So these are the metrics. We had few more metrics, but these were very important aspects that one should be working on to ensure the performance and enhancement of the business month on month, right? Stage, we can move on to the next slide. Now that we have discussed about metrics and data analytics, how can we build a brand and reputation on these marketplaces? Because there are many other sellers already present, how can we become the brand that we want to, the vision that we have as a seller, and what kind of reputation are we maintaining with these marketplaces, so that today, from a bronze customer to a silver to a gold customer, we get prioritized by, or we get awarded by these marketplaces, and that eventually build our brand stronger and stronger day by day, right? So these are certain points. First is compliance with marketplace policies. Every marketplace has defined a regulatory guidelines of how to list a product, what are their requirements, how do they want the order to be processed, certain disciplines and certain ethics has to be followed. We will have to abide by those policies. Amazon has a different policy, Myntra has a different policy. Even for listing a product, if you say Amazon accept a product listing on a white background, but Myntra has specifically a guideline of a gray background. So you'll have to abide by these policies. Now, there are two things. If we don't do it, there is a non-compliance, right? What can happen is it can damage a brand reputation, and eventually we might end up suspending our account, or we will lose on our credibility with the marketplace. So it is important to first understand the policies and the requirement of each marketplace. Here, the problem is every marketplace will have a different policy. So we'll have to understand them first, minimize the risk, ensure that you've been not being you're not being charged with any sort of penalties, account suspension, because whatever effort you did so far would be of no use if your account gets suspended. So following the compliances is very important. Second is develop a cohesive brand identity, mission, and unique selling propositions. It's not just selling on online because there was COVID, and then people realize, it's not only retail, it has to be online. It's not about that. When you have a presence in retail market for a while now, online online business is also growing very fast. And last one decade, it has grown four times of what it was earlier, right? So how do you ensure that your brand identity, or you're getting identified, right? So in this case, the way you present your brand, your logo, the colors that you choose, or overall aesthetics, or how you present your brand is very important, right? Your brand should convey the mission and your USP both at the same time. What are your thoughts, or what is your vision? Just to give you guys an example, right? What I'm trying to say here is, uh, we all are aware of this brand called as Titan, and we are all aware of this brand called as Tanishq. They have created an atmosphere in the market in last 25-30 years, that they have been attached to people. They have all sort of categories, all sort of they have created trust with their craftsmanship. They have brought innovation to the products, and they have given a traditional Indian touch to the products. They have low ASP products as well, high ASP products as well, but they have kept intact, and they have been with the pulse of the market, and hence their mission and USP is clear. Unique selling proposition is clear to the market. That's how you should be building your brand uh, for on these marketplaces. Third is deliver high quality products and service to build a positive reputation. See, understanding the needs preferences and pain points of your targeted audience. When I say targeted audience, it means I might be selling apparels, right? So I should be researching on more how do I get these particular or what are the areas or why people don't buy online? What are the factors that stop people from buying online? We should never compromise on the quality of the product. Second thing, then your listing. You should optimize your listing and you should provide accurate information about your products or the features that you have or whatever about the pricing or about the terms of use or about the return policy, right? It should be clear. A customer shouldn't feel like that they should return this product because it was the information was not cleared while buying them. So delivering high quality products and service to build a positive reputation is very important. Now prioritize customer service. At the end, it is all about customer. It is all about the end user. So resolving their queries, answering to their queries, even if they want to return the product, politely guide them what are the return policies, right? If there is any settlement pending, ensure that it is being cleared from the marketplace end. There has to be a customer centric approach, and your primary focus should be on meeting or exceeding the customer expectations. Always respond to the queries. Ensure your support team is well trained and equipped with the product and services. For example, the person who is sitting and answering to the queries is not aware of the products, so they provide half information that gives a customer that customer might walk away simply by saying, I mean, if I am not sure about the product as a seller, then how can I convince the consumer to buy it? Be transparent and honest in your dealing with the customers. It is very important. I mean, whatever the product you are offering, your policies, limitations, and at the end there has to be trust, right? The next point is encourage positive customer reviews. And see, this activity is not religiously followed by the consumers. The the percentage to this is very less still. Even if the product even if the customer has liked the product, they might not end up giving you a good review. However, the trend is a bit on the other side, where if the people have not liked the product, definitely they will come and write bad about you. But if the product was good, it's been liked by their family members or friends, they would never come a positive put a positive review. But we'll have to, as an online seller, keep on encouraging asking for positive reviews by actively, what all can be done. We must give certain offers within the marketplace guidelines, and if we can give certain offers to them. We can give, if they put some feedback, you can come back and take a 5% discount on the next purchase of whatever you do. And then you can within the marketplace guidelines, you can ask for review processes. If you can get some review processes, and it should be simplified that one should actually go and give a genuine feedback about your products, right? So that's something it should be always there. The last point is leverage social media platforms to extend your brand presence. Now, though we are selling on marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Tata Click Luxury, Ajio Lux, or on my own marketplaces, or on my own website, I should have a brand awareness. Like today, if I go on Facebook, Instagram, or on a TikTok, or wherever possible, I should ensure that that the brand awareness is somewhere there. I'm not expecting direct sale from that particular social media platforms, but having a brand awareness is very important. Today, we all see uh, uh, any footwear brand. We can take an example of Spiker. Spiker is a jeans. Sorry, Spiker jeans. I was just talking about Spiker jeans. I just saw in hoarding that Spiker is still have those lot of hoardings in Mumbai. They have come up with some offer, but we all know Spiker. But how? Why are they promoting it? I mean, when the brand is so known, there are a lot of sneaker brands as well, but they are still promoting themselves. So having a brand presence is very important. We should do that. that can impact when the customer actually go to online or on these marketplaces. They eventually recollect the brand, and that is important. So these were the major points that we have collated and wanted to share our thoughts and insights on how you can become a sustainable brand on the marketplaces. We are open for questions if anyone has any. I think we should wrap, Vikram. There are no more questions. We can. Saish has taken some of the questions, and
Okay.
we have already posted the email ID on which the viewers can actually drop us an inquiry, and we can call back and get in touch with them.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure,
Thank you
sure.
very much once again,
So
everyone. Thank you for the time that you guys have given and patiently try to listen to me, Chelsea, and we have tried to cover the insights. Probably we'll come back again with some more insights on some other topics. Thank you. Thank you very much.
thank you, everyone. Thank you for today's webinar. Thank you. Thank you, all the panelists. Thank you. Bye.